Okay, Sandy, for the movie here for UFRO, I'd like you to introduce yourself with your name and your profession.
Sure. I'm Andrew Liebhold, and I work for the USDA Forest Service, and I'm a research forest entomologist, and I work in Morgantown, West Virginia, in the U.S.
Great, so you've introduced yourself, and I would like to hear from you, how is your field of research reflected here at the UFRO Congress?
Well, most of my research is on, I work with invasive insects, insects that invade from one part of the world to another, and this is a really growing problem in forests all over the world. And so UFRO is like a fantastic forum for exchange of information. And so for my field, exchange of information among scientists in different parts of the world, many of which are experiencing similar problems but have novel insights, it's crucial. And so it's really moving our science much farther forward.
And are there many sessions about your field of expertise?
Yes, we've had several, I think probably about, I think about 30 sessions that deal with insects and diseases as well as air pollution.
It must be really have been very difficult to allocate the presentations to sessions. How was that?
Well, yes, I mean, there were challenging moments. I always tell people it was like maybe doing this kind of thing, you can imagine it's like the most complicated and difficult puzzle to put it all together. But I think scientists, I like to think that scientists like difficult problems. So we're never really scared to tackle something like that.
Okay. But I learn also that you have both aspects in it. You have excellent scientific findings and excellent researchers, and then on the other hand, you also want to give young people and people from developing countries the possibility to present their findings. How did that work?
Well, I mean, this is something that I think is really unique about UFRO, that in UFRO, we really accommodate all types of science. We have, there are people here that are talking about cutting edge stuff that's just going to be out of the latest scientific journals in Science and Nature. But then you have people that maybe come from parts of the world where the science is not as advanced, but they come here, we interact, we all have a lot to learn from each other. And it's one of the things that's really positive about UFRO is it's an incredible sharing of information, not only between scientists from different countries, but different disciplines. So it's this sort of interdisciplinary interaction is one of the positive things about it.
Yeah, that's one thing I also like about UFRO. Do you have special expectations for your field to the outcome of the Congress?
Wow. Well, I mean, I can see just my own experiences with my field of working on biological invasions of forest insects. I've already, it's one of those things that I think scientists, we love, listening to the latest, greatest work. And I think for all of us, we always are thinking in the back of our mind when we hear some other scientist presenting on some really interesting new work, we think, oh gee, I could do something like that, but a little bit different. So I think we all go home after listening to each other and we're invigorated with new ideas that's going to move our research farther forward.
Okay. So looking back at 125 years of UFRO, do you see a development in the field of your research in the last 125 years? Must be tremendous.
It is. I mean, in fact, to me, it's one of the amazing things about this meeting. I mean, when these guys up in Everswalde in 1892, when they envisioned this organization, they didn't have any idea about things like climate change, invasive organisms, and yet they built a system that has facilitated the exchange of science information and has really allowed us to move that science farther forward. So it's almost mind-boggling how successful those guys were.
And I think it is the first and the biggest science organization in the world, isn't it, UFRO?
Well, certainly it is definitely for forest research. There's no other organization that does anything like this.
No other gods beneath us.
Yeah.